Hi guys, today I have a process video for you using the November and December Quirky kit, main kit called Lagom and embellishment kit called Fika. This is called Like a Dream and it has my last photo from my prom, and it's a group photo of some of my friends and I on the stairs because our prom was at this golf club, so there was some nice elegant looking stairs. And I have put a post-it note over my friends' faces with a little cutout so you can see me, and I cropped it out, but there were points during the process where I did take off that post-it note to see what my layout looked like, don't worry. So my idea for this was talking about how the whole experience of prom was actually a bit of a dream for me. So I drew and cut out these clouds, and I wanted to use the Gold Star acetate sheet to make the clouds. So first I cut them out with paper because I thought that would be easier than drawing directly on the acetate, because you can't really draw that on pencil and you can't necessarily rub out a pen, which is what I would want to do obviously. And let me tell you, this whole thing took a long time editing this video because I downloaded so many different software, because it turned out the one I used for my last video was just a demo version, and eventually I found out you can actually just download Movie Maker, and although it's not specifically designed for Windows 10, it does work with Windows 10, so it was fine. And this new Movie Maker has narration, which is great too. So I used the paper clips that were included in the kit to clip the stencils to the acetate sheet so I could cut around them. So they are functional as well as pretty, which is nice. And then I got out these pro markers, which are alcohol markers, because just the clear acetate, it's not that easy to see the cloud shape. And I got out a few different light blues and then a navy blue, and I used a blendy pen to blend, as well as I found that tapping with my finger worked quite well because the pro marker dries quite slowly on the acetate. And I did use these alcohol markers because they can write on the acetate, and I think they've dried on it, although I haven't got the pen side face up just in case it didn't dry. And I imagine you could probably use Sharpie or something like that as well. Copics are another kind of marker, that kind of thing. If you colour in stamps, you probably have them. And then this is my arrangement of the clouds. I didn't want too many. I wanted this whole layout to be quite light, just this idea of dreams, because I've been talking with my friend a lot about dreams recently, so that's kind of, it was on my mind. Now I'm going to do some layering behind my photo with some light papers, and although that may look like a Christmas paper to you, if you use it as a layer behind the photo, it just looks really pretty because you can't see the pine cone. Well, even though the pine cones are beautiful anyway. I love papers like that because you don't realise, but because they're kind of zoomed out, when you use them as layers, it doesn't matter if the pattern's not entirely relevant because you can't see it anyway. And I wanted to use this black check sort of pattern. It might be Dear Lizzie or Amy Tan or something like that, to add a bit of contrast, because although this layout is very bright, I wanted a little bit of darkness in there too, so that the lightness stands up even more. And ignore my cup of tea, please, in the top left hand corner. I thought it would be so nice and, oh look, I'm at home and it's warm because it's winter, just because I had a cup of tea in the video, but it looks a bit strange. Now I'm gonna plan my title, and I wanted to do some stitching with the gold thread that came in the kit, and I really like how it turned out, and I still have lots of thread, so I might be doing that again. Another thing I quite like to try is making little stars with the thread. I think that would be cute as well. So I tried to write cursive on my own, and I'm not very good at cursive, and I don't brush letter or anything, so it probably looks a bit weird to anyone who can actually do cursive, but because it's stitched with thread anyway, it didn't really need to be perfect. And then I used a pin to punch holes quite close together because the letters are quite small, but not too close or your paper will rip. and then I threaded the gold thread into the needle by putting a loop of a thinner thread through, and then putting the gold thread through that and then pulling it through, because you don't want a really thick needle that the thread can actually fit through, because then it will punch massive holes in your paper. So doing it the way I suggested. If you have one of those things that helps you thread needles, you can just do that, but I don't, so that was a DIY method. And then for the Leica, I just used a fine liner pen to write it in. It's just occurred to me I haven't rubbed out the pencil behind my Leica, so you might be able to see that in the pictures, and just ignore it. It's just me being not very neat. So sticking down the clouds, of course it's a bit difficult sticking down acetate because it's clear so you can see through it. So for the big cloud, because part of it was behind the photo, I could just put some adhesive there. For the smaller clouds, I actually found that using a dot of glue wasn't that visible because I had coloured them in blue. And I did use scrap bits of acetate to test my colouring and the glue method, so I would do that if I were you because it's so pretty, you don't want to waste it. Now I was just looking for something to embellish with, and I ended up using these really pretty white flowers, and you can't tell that well, but they're all glittery, which I think is just so cute, and it just goes with the whole light thing because they're white, but then because they're so dimensional, it means that my layout, I think, in my opinion, doesn't look too plain. And finally, not finally actually, one of the last things I did was add some journaling in that little space. For once, I left the space for journaling. And my journaling is very cheesy. It says, "My memories are a jumble of happy moments, almost like a dream." Yeah, it sounds a bit odd, but journaling has never been my strong suit. And I'm trying hard to put journaling on as many layouts as possible because I really like going back and reading what I was thinking. And obviously by this point, where it's been half a year since prom, I am kind of looking back on it. I'm not thinking about it as it happened, so it's quite nice because I spread out scrapbooking my prom photos over about half a year-ish. You do get that variation in my journaling about it. And I still thought my layout, although it's nice and light and airy, I thought it looked a little bit plain, and I just wanted something to ground it. So I was looking for all these embellishment cards and things, but they're all a bit too big, and then I looked at tags, but they're also too big. And then it occurred to me that maybe some kind of border with patterned paper would work well. So I start by cutting off this branding strip because it's got some nice neutral colours that I thought could work for my layout. And I tried it at the top, tried it at the bottom, and then I thought actually this side would work quite well. And I like the positioning, but the paper is not right for me, so I end up using this light blue one, and I think that works well because I also include that pattern paper in my layering, so it's not actually adding a different pattern to the layout or a different colour, it's just adding a different element, which I think is quite good. And I use the Pritt stick to stick it down, because it's slightly wider than my double-sided tape, or about the same width. I'm going to be posting details on the blog with detail photos and stuff, and there's also going to be detail photos at the end of this video, so if you want to see my layout close up, you can have a look at that. But this is my finished layout. My Instagram will also be down below, as will where you can find Quirky kits. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!